everybody, this is Joy Davis from Millennial Stories, and you're listening to the Cute Victim Podcast, the show that tells the hard truth for people who love being compulsively exploited. Today, we're talking about why men objectify scantily clad women with Dr. Susan T. Fisk, Princeton University psychologist. She presented research using MRI brain scans to observe men's response to images of sexy bikini-clad women. Dr. Fisk, when does a woman become an object?
When straight men look at pictures of women in bikinis, brain scans show areas activated that normally light up in anticipation of using tools, like wrenches, hammers, and screwdrivers. Viewing scantily clad females, men's medial prefrontal cortex is deactivated. That's the part of the brain that considers another person's motivations or thinking. It goes completely dark.
So what does that darkness mean exactly?
The deactivated part of the brain is associated with empathy for other people's emotions. It shuts down after looking at the pictures. It means they no longer see the women as people but as objects to be used or handled. They react to these women as if they're not fully human.
Have you ever seen this brain darkness before?
The only other time we've observed the deactivation of this region is when people look at pictures of homeless people and drug addicts. They really don't want to think about what's in their minds because they are put off by them. The men imagine bikini-clad women as losers, potential weak victims.
Many women think showing skin is a sign of strength or power. Is that an error?
Men see the unclothed as more capable of being harmed and, therefore, as more in need of protection. Experiment participants are less willing to inflict painful shocks on half-naked individuals as compared to dressed individuals. It seems that when we see bodies, we tend to also see potential victims. We're more vulnerable when we're exposed.
Is this vulnerability bad?
When men see body photos of women as compared with face photos, they judge women to be less intelligent, less likable, less ambitious, and less competent. These men see women as sexually inviting, but they are not thinking about their minds. This appeals to hostile sexism. A good question about this finding is when it comes to our relationships with men. Do we want to be used or do we want to be known?
Is this a control issue? Aren't women trying to sexually control men?
Ironically, men desire to control the women in bikinis. When the women were modestly dressed, the men associated the women with being in control. Feminists are duped by the idea that bearing skin frees the women enslaved by sexism because it is confidently owning your body and your sexuality. Modesty is not to veil our body because it's bad. A modest woman isn't hiding herself. She's revealing her dignity to men.
What is the takeaway from your research?
We deserve more than waterproof lingerie.